We are talking about the entire weekend's worth of action here, and the most important thing you need to know is about this sausage. Yes, the sausage that they're throwing around apparently is the reason for the offensive turnaround right there. Apparently, Kyle Farmer left this in the clubhouse. David Popkins grabbed it and is just having the guys touch it, and it's a hot sausage. So this turnaround for the Twins, they won 7 straight games, are back over 500, is all due to Kyle Farmer's sausage. Anyway, Bailey Ober was brilliant on Friday, carried a no-hitter into the 6th inning, 7 1/3 innings. We pitched into the 8th inning, 2 runs, 8 strikeouts. Just brilliant. Completely in control out there. That awful opening start at Kansas City was brutal. I don't know if that put a chip on this guy's shoulder or if he's just feeling it right now or what, but he's on another level. This is like ace Cy Young type run, and it's only been a few starts, so we can't get ahead of ourselves, but it's been really nice to see out of Bailey Ober. This was nice to see, man. Kyle Farmer finally had one fall in, a 2-run double. He had 2 hits and 2 walks on Saturday. He had a double today, so he's turning it around. And then here's just every hit with runners in scoring position from today's game, Sunday's game. This was just therapeutic, and this is how it's been for a minute here, but Twins were 4 for 11 with runners in scoring position on Friday, 7 for 16 with runners in scoring position on Saturday, and 6 for 18 today. So that is 17 for 45 they were with runners in scoring position in this series. Huge one there from Kirilloff. That's a 378 average with runners in scoring position they were over the weekend series here in Anaheim. It's a completely different feel to this lineup. You know, all praise be to the sausage. Twins sweep, huge wins the last couple nights. You know, that Ober performance was big because the offense didn't quite dominate like they had on Saturday and Sunday. The Twins are now, again, 7 straight wins. They are now a game above 500, 14-13. They're going to Chicago to play the White Sox in a 3-game series. White Sox just swept Tampa Bay, oh, by the way. So that kind of puts a different light on the Twins sweep of them earlier in the week. But those are the notable pitching and hitting performances. Paddock didn't pitch great and goes 5 and gives up 4. Lopez pitched great, but then kind of fell apart. He goes 5 and gives up 4. So it's kind of odd. Sort of those guys ended up at the same spot with very different ways to get there. Moving on to the Saints. DaShawn Kerisey Jr. here makes maybe the best catch we'll see all season. Oh my goodness. Just gorgeous. He times it perfectly. The leap is everything about this catch is absolutely perfect. Gorgeous play. This guy's a legit defensive center fielder. Oh, by the way, an 888 OPS so far this year. 8 for 9 on stolen base attempts. A bit of a late bloomer, but it is happening for DaShawn Kerisey Jr. right now. Louie Varland had a laborious first inning, but got through it only giving up 1 run. Pitched pretty well, 5 innings, 4 hits, 1 run, 1 walk, 5 strikeouts for Louie. So, you know, he's obviously kind of just trying to stabilize right now. Just tough when your hat gets knocked off, but kind of a nifty double play there, turned by Prado and Diego A. Castillo. And also Severino on the pick there. But yeah, Louie, good to see him. You know, he just kind of needs to get a reset right now. So we'll see what the future comes of him. Jhoan Duran's future should be on the Minnesota Twins. I don't think he needs to make another appearance for the Saints. It certainly wouldn't hurt, but looked outstanding in this one. Just a complete 180 from his first rehab outing. Topped out at 102.9, so the velo was definitely there, and you see him fielding his position here. A long throw from Junior Severino across the diamond there. Saints postponed on Friday and Sunday, and they lost a doubleheader on Saturday. So Saints are now 10-15, a bit of a slow start for the Saints. Here are their starting pitching stats. Varland and Dobnak went for them on that doubleheader. Unfortunately, Randy got roughed up, but there you see that line from Louie Varland. And then Isola and Hellman were the notable hitting performers there. Michael Hellman with a 3-run homer. Nice to see out of him. So, switching gears to Wichita. Windsurge don't have any highlights of them, but they won their first 2 games of this weekend and lost today. They are now 7-14, so a bit of a rough go, but a nice weekend for them. Taking a look at their breakdown, Marco Raya with another short start, kind of as to be expected at this point, but sort of uncharacteristically, walks 3 batters. He's usually a pretty good control guy. Here, Rozek didn't actually start that game today. That was Nick Whitgren, who you may remember from his days with Cleveland. but he was sort of the bulk guy, so I wanted to put him on there. And then here are the notable hitting performances. I want to call out, too, Noah Cardenas didn't make it on here, but he has an 821 OPS to start the year for the Wind Surge. A lot of the other guys who moved up this year are struggling, but he's played really well. Noah Cardenas, the catcher, really known for his defense. Cedar Rapids, much like St. Paul, also postponed on Friday, canceled on Sunday. So they also only played a doubleheader on Sunday. They split that. They are 10-10, are the Colonels so far this year. See, C.J. Culpepper and Darren Bowen both had solid but not spectacular starts. Culpepper's got a 3.65 ERA in 3 starts. Bowen's at 5.84, and then Cespedes and Olivar. Cespedes has a 1.116 OPS. Olivar's at 867. To Fort Myers, and here's Charlee Soto. We just don't get a lot of looks from sort of the home plate perspective, so I figured I'd grab this real quick and show you a look at his delivery. He goes 3 innings, gives up 5 hits, 2 runs, but no earned runs. Part of that was his own doing. We'll see that in a moment. No walks and 3 strikeouts. You see here he should have an inning-ending double play. Very athletic coming off the mound, but then kind of sails the throw there into center, run scores. So instead of an inning-ending double play, things continue and a run scores. But again, he looked pretty good. Topped out at 96.6. His ERA is now at 2.08 on the season. He's got 18 strikeouts and 5 walks and 13 innings pitched. That is Charlee Soto. Definitely a guy to keep an eye on. No such thing as a routine double play in the minors, though. Keep that in mind with him making the error. Today, Ty Langenberg, excuse me. It's a little bit of a mouthful. Ty Langenberg pitched really well. 5 1/3 innings, 6 hits, 1 run, 1 walk, and 6 strikeouts on 85 pitches. Topped out at 93.1. Struck out 5 guys in a row at one point. That's what you're seeing here. He's got a cutter, a changeup, a sinker, a 4-seamer, and a slider. So 5-pitch mix that he basically throws all even. So it's a lot to keep in mind. There's the Muscles results from the weekend, They win 1 and lose 2. They are now 8-13 on the season, are the Mighty Muscles. Here you see those pitching lines from Soto and Langenberg. Also, speaking of mouthfuls, Paul-Sean Pascolato didn't have as good an outing as we've seen from him of late. Moving on over to the hitting side, Brandon Winokur had another nice game in the mix here on Saturday. He's got a 761 OPS so far. Is striking out a lot, 32.4 K percentage, but for a guy as raw and as young as he is, it's not a huge red flag for me, and it's going down. It's going in the right direction of late. So, obviously there's a whole lot of game left for him. A young guy playing in the Florida State League, so good to see him off to a pretty solid start. Here's kind of an overview of the weekend. Weird weekend with all these postponements and cancellations and doubleheaders and lots of rain in the Midwest, wreaking havoc. But thanks for checking this one out. I don't love this format instead of the usual daily thing. We're going to switch back to that next week. So no video on Monday because there's no minor league games on Monday, so I don't do a recap. We'll be back on Tuesday with a nightly recap as per usual. Again, thank you so much for your support. We'll talk again on Tuesday.